Chit Chat with Manoj is up next. Just a few weeks ago, Mr. Manoj Singh returned from his fascinating days in India. Now that he's back to the old drawing board, let's see his presentation of Chit Chat with Manoj. And before I forget, Mr. Singh is the CEO of Caesar Productions, and this year I hear from the grapevine that they are gearing up for a fabulous DC SAF festival. Please stay tuned to GTV for more reports on this film festival.
Welcome to Chit Chat with Manoj. I'm Manoj Singh. Hello, Adab, Namaste. So every time I come back from India, I like to provide or talk about at least the status. So I call this episode India Today. I always look it from half glass full or optimistic because I have seen some changes which are happening. So I'll start with some of the good news. I see more and more of computerization in the government processes and systems. Recently, I saw that now the stamps which used to be available to do all the paperwork are now e-stamps. You all remember the famous Telgi scandal, all the fraud which happened. And then the real estate registrations are now happening on computer. They are very well documented with photographs, with fingerprints. So, and then the tax return is quite electronic. You even have to have an electronic signature made. So what I feel like this modernization or computerization of these processes will reduce corruption, reduce delays, and I think there will be people will be happy. All these processes and computers have time limit, and also what government is doing is that they have outsourced some of the services like passport, and if everything can be done online. You are even given an appointment by email. So I think some of the good things are happening. On the infrastructure, road and railways and flights, let's talk about infrastructure. So construction of roads has been accelerated. I have been told, and remains to be seen, that in 5 years we'll have very good roads between the major cities of India. And I have actually went on some of these highways because I had to, for some reasons, especially between Jhansi and Jabalpur and all that. And it's a 4-lane highway outsourced to outside companies like in Malaysia, Korea, and they're doing excellent quality work. And if we have these highways in 5 years, I think journey in India will be really pleasant, short, and it will be a very good experience. Now, gradually, also another improvement I saw just 2-3 years back when I used to go to a small remote place like Piparia or my village in MP. I would not get any Wi-Fi or any even network to do some internet work. But this time I was able to buy a dongle, they call it a dongle, that's a stick either by Tata or by Idea or any other wireless network, and there was 3G and 4G networks available to work on internet on your laptop wireless. So I think that's a big improvement. I think things are happening. Trains, I saw now, given the amount of trains and the number of people it carries, I think they should be given credit for running them. Most of them are on time until unless there is some environmental or weather concerns or some other incident that they could be delayed. But they are being gradually upgraded. I saw some improvements in the restrooms and then especially the cleanliness of the trains has improved, especially when they stop at the junctions like Jhansi major junctions. Professional crew comes in to vacuum, to do even Windex to clean and in jumpsuits and remove the trash, clean the toilets. So it's a big improvement. Even the food quality I've heard is being quite strictly controlled. I'm always afraid of having food on the platforms because you go from here, you only have few days, so you have only bottled water and you're being very careful. But the locals were telling me that they are not that afraid of having the food which is catered by the railways. The reservation system is quite automated, very good. You can do it everything online, and the beauty I've seen is SMS. You can put in your PNR number, which is the reservation number, SMS, and the PNR number, and it gives you exactly the train timing, your berth, your coupe, where you have to go. So I was very well impressed. Some of the things are really impressive. Even with the use of credit cards, the moment you swipe your credit card, you get a text message that your X amount has been charged to a certain vendor. So a lot of good security features. Flights also, I saw, at least the flights I took and I was watching, were on time. Although there's chaos, you see a lot of people, they all rush to the gate when the flight is called for. Those things are still there. They don't have the manners. Everyone wants to get in first, all of that. But the flights itself are on time, professionally managed. The food is good, and the airports are now world standard. Leave alone the new airports of Mumbai and Delhi; they are just exceptional. But even the airports in the cities like Chennai, Bangalore, especially the capitals of all the states, they have been redone very well, good design, and it feels good. It feels good. The biggest thing which is going on, I noticed in all the cities, it's in Hindi, it's called Atikraman, meaning removal of the illegal properties, housing, businesses, and even religious institutions. The High Court has clearly said in Jabalpur, Baroda, everywhere I saw there were JCBs and police, cleaning up all the illegal construction, expanding the roads, expanding the circles. And this was badly needed for a while because the amount of cars there on the road now, the amount of population which is there in every city, those people who are being routed are given alternative housing. They are being placed some other place, and they are given some compensation also to purchase or to find another kind of housing. But good things are happening. Now, some of the challenges which I see, still the streets and the trash cans and all that, not much cleaning. You can, even in a beautiful city, big cities like Mumbai, Bangalore, Bengaluru now they call it, Chennai, trash is everywhere. I mean, you'll have a beautiful apartment complex with compound, with everything in it, and the moment you step out, there's a whole trash, big heaps of trash, and hopefully one day they'll get to it. The population is so much, and I don't know what the local government or the corporations do. But government is trying to do a lot. They're getting automated machines. In the villages especially, they are giving money to building restrooms. The challenge over there is change of habit, which will take time. And the most important is that in some of these villages, there's lack of water. So if there's no water, how do they clean? But still, they have been compensated 12 to 18,000 rupees, and they come and check. And they are hoping that the younger generation, especially, will start using them. I spoke to some of them, and they said that they will, but except that that water is a problem. Older generation, I think, will be harder for them to change their habits. Corruption is still rampant. You hear about different stories. But government, like I said, is outsourcing a lot of the services like passport. They're building more and more government forms and services on website. The compensations for even to farmers or to these villages for building a restroom now goes directly into their bank account. So the middleman is gone. It's being reduced. That reduces corruption. But a lot more work has to be done. Also, another thing I saw, that income tax department is becoming more strict. Now there are cash limits. If you go stay in a hotel and pay more than X amount in cash, you have to present your PAN ID. So things are changing, things are improving. I think it will be 8-10 years when we'll see black money reduced, and hopefully, and also they are increasing the salaries of the officers. They feel like if they get a decent salary, they will be less attracted to take a bribe. But let's see. I'm hopeful. Now, another big problem I always have in India is too many days off. First of all, they have 21 days national days off. We have, I think, 10. They have double the number of days. On top of that, there's always some religious reason for being off, Mahavir Jayanti or Guru Nanak Jayanti, or I think they are counted maybe in the 21 days. But and top of that, now a new thing I saw, at least in Madhya Pradesh, was every second and fourth Saturday they are off. The banks are closed, the government institutions are closed. I don't know why, but as it is, a little is done on the day they are working. They all show up at 11 and leave by 5, and in between they have several breaks for lunch and tea. So hopefully this will improve. Then even the local officers, collector has on his own discretion can give another 2-4 days off for some or the other reason. And then in between, of course, on the High Court I was there, that some judge died or grievance, an advocate died, and then the half day is off. People don't understand that people have come from long distances to travel that day for their case, and how much trouble it is for them if their hearing was not there and they had to come back again. But you know, what is interesting is that the Chief Justice of the High Court, at least an MP, wanted to shut this practice. I think they are going to very soon. They are going to now have a once a month grievance rather than every time someone dies. But there was a protest by lawyers that you can't do this, which is amazing to me. So let's see. I'm hopeful. Then population control. I don't see much going on, but maybe under root, government is doing something about it. I think that's the biggest problem for India and for the government to provide services to so many people. But they are providing help in certain areas. They definitely provide now bicycles and special education to girls. Also there are separate police stations for woman abuse or 5. They can go in there and log in a report, FIR, and they are protected for a lot of things, dowry and several other issues they have, so which is a good sign. Now, want to wrap up with 2 of my old discussions which I had. One is that, moral policing. I see on website or even in events recently I was told that some people go around telling what is good and bad. It's such an individual thing, a perspective. You can always say it what you believe in, but don't represent the society as a whole. This person even made a public statement on Facebook that this particular screening or something should not have been brought to the audience of DC. I mean, who first of all gave you that authority to talk on behalf of DC audience? And why don't you, I think bottom line is mind your own business. Yeah, you have your own perspective, you have your opinion, but that doesn't mean that you go off publicly and express your opinion and talk about what the Indian society wants or does not want. I think some of these people, what I have seen now over the time, that they're stuck in time. They came 40, 50 years back from India. Every movie, every theater will not be Ramayana or Mahabharat or a love story India has also changed. What is surprising is when I go back to India and talk to the youth and the people over there, they are totally shocked that someone will react like this. India has moved on. US is in younger generation has moved on. So please stay with the time and don't do moral policing. You just believe in what you believe in, which is fine, and you have the right to express your opinion. And the last thing I'll say again and again, and I'll wrap up with this, is give. Giving is good, healthy. I think that is the best thing I did. That's my perspective. I feel so satisfied, happy that I had the opportunity, I had the resources, that I'm doing the social work I'm doing. And it is really rewarding. People, when they come up to you and they are happy, they're smiling for the help you have provided. And in the middle of the night, I get a WhatsApp message saying, "You are my hero," from a student in a remote village in India. I was just totally mesmerized or surprised that what have I really done? I've done something which I thought was I should have done. And people tell me in India how rare it is for people to give. And the sad part is that some of the big ones, even a place where I come from, Piparia, when there's an income tax raid, crores of cash comes out of their house. Then one of the things when I gave, the local government wanted to have a public sort of function. I was against it because I really don't want my name to be everywhere, or I really not giving because I have something to achieve. I'm not standing in election or anything like that. But they said, "No, Manoj, we want to do it so that other people come forward and do the same thing." And I was told just on this trip that after I left, 15, 16 local businessmen came forward and paid for the fees of the poor people. The local Rotary Club came forward and paid for the badly needed blood testing machine in the hospital. So I think it was worth it. When I look back, if that is what it takes, okay, fine, have it your way. Please think about it. And strangers walk up to me and tell me, thank you. Not that I am showing off or want to talk about it, but think about it. That's one of the key things which our society needs to look and do. Thank you all, and goodbye, all the best. And like I always say, life is short, have fun.